Legendary Footsteps, the life and legacy of Ibn Khaldun. The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a crimson glow across the expansive landscapes of Tunis, a scene pregnant with tension and the scent of damp earth. The air was thick with anticipation, punctuated only by the distant sounds of horses' hooves striking the cobbled streets, an ominous precursor to what was about to unfold. As Ibn Khaldun, a figure of remarkable intellect and tenacity, lay on his deathbed, he could feel the warmth of life flickering like a candle in the wind. Each breath was a struggle, each shuddering exhalation releasing the musty odor of the dark room around him, filled with the faint whispers of those who had come to witness his last moments. As he struggled to speak, the rasp of his voice broke the silence. "I have seen civilization rise and fall like the tide. If only they understood." His words faded, swallowed by the stillness, the weight of his ideas hanging in the air like a heavy fog. The flickering oil lamp cast long shadows on the walls, morphing into deceptive forms, mirroring the complexities of his thoughts on human nature and societal dynamics. The scent of burning olive oil mixed with the acrid smell of unwashed bodies lingered in the room, amplifying the sense of decay, not just of the man, but of the entire world he had tirelessly chronicled. Outside, the sound of a lone bell tolled, echoing through the narrow streets. It was a mournful sound, resonating with loss, yet filled with a bittersweet promise of his legacy to come. As his eyes fluttered shut for the final time, the last vision was of a society rich in contradictions. The laughter of children echoing in the marketplace, the cries of merchants selling their wares, juxtaposed against the grim realities of oppression and strife. Born into a world teetering on the brink of chaos, Ibn Khaldun's early life was shaped by the tremors of strife and instability. He entered this world in 1332 in Tunis, a city that smelled of spices and sea salt, but was also soaked in the palpable fear of political upheaval. His family, of Andalusian origins, had faced exile from their homeland. An aroma of burnt hopes mixed with the salt of the Mediterranean haunted their every interaction. "We were once respected," his father would often recount, staring blankly at the horizon as if it held answers just beyond reach. The air was thick with his despair, a weight that pressed down on the young Khaldun. From a tender age, Ibn felt the suffocating grip of expectation. His childhood was a series of contrasts, the warmth of familial love entangled with the sharp bite of loss. Death had come for his father and brothers, leaving behind an aching void that twisted in his gut and echoed in his mind. The scent of the musty books that filled his home became a refuge, their pages crinkling under his fingers as he sought solace in their stories, a cacophony of emotions swirling within him. "Why must the wise speak and the fools follow?" he once asked a mentor, frustration coursing through his youthful veins. The mentor's gaze was heavy, filled with a mix of pity and understanding. "Because, young Khaldun, the world is a stage, and most play their parts without knowing the script. Even the most brilliant minds encounter moments of doubt." Khaldun's early academic endeavors were marred by repetitive failures that gnawed at his spirit like a relentless tide eroding a cliff. Despite his sharp intellect, he struggled to find acceptance among the scholarly elite. The bitter scent of rejection hung heavily in the air as he presented his works, only to be met with the stony silence of disapproval. The voices of discontent rang in his ears, criticisms cut deeper than any blade. One particular moment of despair struck Khaldun like a thunderclap. It was during a lecture, the room stifling with the heat of the day and the murmurs of the audience. He had poured his heart into explaining his theories, only to be interrupted by a sneering rival. "Your ideas are foolish fantasies, Khaldun. You speak of civilization as if it were a living thing, but tell me, where is your evidence?" The laughter of the gathered scholars echoed off the stone walls, sharp and mocking, drowning his spirit in a sea of doubt. "How can I share truth when it is met with such disdain?" he whispered to himself later that night, staring at the flickering candlelight. The flame seemed to dance cruelly, mocking his ambitions. In the midst of despair, Khaldun discovered a profound insight, a strategy that would alter his understanding of history and society. It was during a chance encounter in an open courtyard, where the scent of freshly baked bread wafted through the air, mingling with the distinct aroma of sweat and leather from the nearby marketplace. As he observed the interactions between people, he realized that the fabric of society was woven not just from politics or economics, but from a collective human experience. With a newfound clarity, he crafted the foundational principles of his work, the Muqaddimah. "Civilization," he proclaimed passionately in gatherings, "is like a living organism, rising and falling based on its internal cohesion, the strength of its social bonds, and the health of its economic structures." He emphasized the importance of asabiya, or social cohesion, as the bedrock on which societies thrive. It was his way of saying that the strength of a civilization lies in its people's shared sense of belonging. I urge you to look beyond the veil of the immediate, he would often implore his audience, his voice rising above the murmurs. The past is not merely a record, it is a living guide that informs our future. The raw energy of his conviction sparked interest among some scholars, igniting discussions that filled the air with the electricity of new ideas. The year was 1375, and the political landscape of North Africa was tumultuous, marked by the clashing of armies and the cries of the disenfranchised. Khaldun found himself amidst the chaos, witnessing the rise and fall of dynasties firsthand. One particular confrontation stood out, the siege of Tunis by rival factions that shook the very foundation of the city. The air was laced with tension, the smell of smoke from distant fires mixed with the metallic scent of blood. As he stood on the crumbling battlements overlooking the city, the sounds of clashing swords and anguished cries filled his ears, a grim symphony of battle. The ground trembled beneath his feet as the forces clashed, and he could see the dust swirling in the air, heavy with the weight of history. Khaldun's heart raced. This is not just a battle of swords, it is a battle of ideas, he shouted above the din to his companions, eyes blazing with fervor. We must remember that the victor today may be the vanquished tomorrow. His voice was a rallying cry, charged with urgency, the power of his convictions resonating through the air as his followers rallied around him, drawn by his vision of unity amid chaos. As chaos engulfed the landscape, he crafted strategies that transcended mere tactics of war. He argued for the importance of alliances, the necessity to build bridges between factions rather than walls. In unity, there is strength, he urged. However, the tides of fortune are fickle, and not all embraced Khaldun's vision. His closest allies, once supporters, became wary of his growing influence. Whispers of betrayal slithered through the corridors of power, the scent of treachery thick in the air. A former confidant, envious of Khaldun's growing reputation, approached him with feigned sincerity. Ibn, he began, voice smooth like honey but laced with venom. You must understand that your ideas threaten the very fabric of our society. You will seek to upend tradition for your philosophies. The sting of the betrayal cut deep, and Khaldun's heart sank, the warmth of camaraderie replaced by the chill of isolation. You misunderstand the purpose of progress. I build bridges, not walls, Khaldun retorted, his voice firm yet trembling with the weight of disappointment. The room fell silent, the air thick with the tension of unspoken accusations, the remnants of friendship evaporating like mist in the morning sun. Ibn Khaldun's legacy transcends the confines of his time, leaving an indelible mark on the fields of history, sociology, and philosophy. His reflections on human nature remain hauntingly relevant, echoing through the corridors of time. To understand civilization, one must first understand humanity, he wrote, guiding future generations toward introspection and understanding. His work, particularly the Muqaddimah, continues to resonate, challenging scholars to delve into the complexities of societal dynamics. Khaldun's insights into social cohesion, economic factors, and the cyclical nature of civilization have become foundational texts in understanding human behavior. In the quiet moments, as he observed the world, he may have pondered the eternal question, what does it mean to be human? We are but a collection of narratives, woven together by our shared experiences, he would reflect, a knowing smile on his lips, the scent of impending dusk mingling with a sense of hope for future generations. As the screen fades to black, Khaldun's legacy lingers, a reminder that understanding the past is key to navigating the present and shaping the future. Civilizations may rise and fall, but the pursuit of knowledge remains undying.